Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to a special Love Day episode of Big Inner Child Energy, the podcast dedicated to healing together, growing together, and sharing our light with the world. I'm your host, Mikah, and I am thrilled to have you join me today on this heartfelt journey. So listen, today is Valentine's Day, and for the sake of today's podcast, I prefer to call it Love Day. And I want to call it Love Day because if I call it Valentine's Day, we get swooped up in all the societal conditionings that go along with Valentine's Day. And that is not what this episode is about. So, before we dive into the depths of Love Day, I want to really acknowledge that this day can really stir up a variety of emotions in people. Whether you're celebrating love with a partner, you're navigating your own feelings of loneliness, or you're embracing your own self-love. Our focus today is going to be on just that, healing and focusing on our own self-love because healing is love, right? So today, bump all that romantic shit, okay? We're not doing it. Let's turn this day into an opportunity for self-discovery and empowerment. But just a quick side note, okay? The best part about Love Day sometimes is that candy goes on sale tomorrow. Folks, stock up. Okay. So, question. Have you ever stopped to feel the energy on Love Day? Like, I'm being for real. Like, have you ever really just stopped to feel the vibrations on Valentine's Day? There's like a collective energy that I feel on this day. It's like a universal love song. It's just kind of like playing in the background, you know? It's like, I almost started singing my favorite song, but it's almost like, like that Kenny Lattimore song, For You Must Share the Cup of Love That Overflows. Listen, I didn't say I was a singer, okay? I didn't say that, but that's how it feels. I'm getting goosebumps just even thinking about it. It's the vibrations. The world is vibrating at this frequency of love. Today, there is this collective focus on the expression of love. Kindness is happening today. If you think about it, when you were in elementary school and the school parties, we were passing out little cards with My Little Pony or Thomas the Train or we were passing these things out to our peers and giving things to our teachers and bringing things home to our parents. And, it's like we were doing this even at a young age, vibrating at this frequency, baby. So when I say there's so much affection and expression happening today, that's what I mean. And we've been doing this for a long time. And let me tell you, this creates a unique and powerful energy that we can actually harness for healing and transformation. So that is why I love Love Day. Like, I love it. I tap in today no matter what. And I teach my clients this. I teach my kid this. I teach anybody this that will listen to me, okay? So I know you're asking, all right, Micah, okay, cool. But what do the lonely do? What do the lonely do? What do I do today on Love Day? You know what you do? You love on your damn self. That's what we do, okay? But I know. Why is it so hard to just do that? I know we see this everywhere and it's almost cliche. Love yourself. Self-love. You hear people say it all the time, but they never really dig deep into what self-love is. Self-love is, it's way more than getting your nails painted, right? That helps boost your confidence, right? But self-love is really healing and loving the parts of yourself that make you cry, that make you hide, that make you afraid to love, that make you afraid to express your true self. Self-love is loving the parts of you that make you love someone else. Because sometimes, even though we think we love someone else, you can only love someone else at the capacity that you love yourself. Woo! Write that down. Self-love is loving your past. Self-love is loving yourself past your mistakes. It is truly loving the parts you subconsciously or even consciously, that you think are unlovable. But you have to hear me. You won't grow in self-love if you don't start. You have to actually start. You actually have to try, right? It's so easy to see these things, these posts and things on social media and read these wonderful tips and take these wonderful classes. I mean, just all these helpful and wonderful tips, right? And you see these things, and it all feels just so impossible. And I'm here to tell you it's not impossible. That is just a narrative that you're holding on to. Because even right now, you have trauma, you have hurt, you have pain. And all of the things that you have been through have caused you to feel unlovable, right? And therefore, you have told yourself that you are unlovable due to all this past trauma. And yes, it's going to take a lot to reprogram that narrative. It's going to take a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. But the first thing that you have to do is you have to get into a space where you want to reprogram, where you believe that you actually can. And that is going to start by believing in something greater than yourself. Because when you believe in something greater than yourself, you then start to recognize your purpose and that you are here for a reason, a special reason that only you with your trauma, you with your background, you with everything that makes you, you can do. And listen, I am not here to preach. Listen, I don't want that calling on my life. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and say a few cuss words just so it's known, okay? Shit damn, okay? Because listen, back to the program. Okay, so once you get there, and that alone might actually be hard to actually get there. It may take time. It may take a long time. And I'm not just sharing something that I've heard. This is something that I've actually gone through. You know what people don't realize is that it doesn't matter how you were raised. At some point, and this is for everybody. Listen, this is for everyone. Life is going to sit you on your ass, okay? And you're going to have to take an inventory of your life at some point. And you're going to have to take an inventory of your experiences and everything that you have been taught and assess them and maybe even unlearn them. And maybe some of it you need to actually embrace. As children, our experiences are based on our perception of those experiences. So how often do we actually go back and assess our childhood perception of the things that have happened? For example, children don't always understand love languages, right? You may have had a parent whose love language was acts of service, but because you yourself never grew up with the quality time or the words of affirmations, you don't even recognize that parent's love language of acts of service. You probably don't even recognize that they may not even know how to give the things that you want, like quality time or words of affirmation, because they themselves never got them. And therefore, guess what? You're not going to get them either. They never learned how. But how did them not doing that help you? It didn't, right? It probably only caused you to perceive their love a certain way, which probably created a physical or emotional abandonment wound. You created the I'm unlovable theme in your life. So you really need to go back and start your healing journey by evaluating your relationship with your parents or your caregivers. But even still, if you weren't raised by your biological parents, that is actually where you need to start. Because why weren't they there? Even if it happened because they passed away before you were born, grief can still create abandonment wounds. And we'll get into that on down the line. So what I'm getting at here is your parents are how you first learned to love. But then, societal conditioning takes over. TV, music, media, relationships you observe all around you. It takes over. It starts to brainwash you. It starts to make you see love a certain way, right? So what's next? And the order that all this stuff that you need to do is not necessarily like set in stone, right? It's all really actually up to you how you want to navigate through everything from here. But for me, the next thing is to create some fucking boundaries. Like enough. The reality is a lot of you lack boundaries, okay? You slowly become Captain Resentful when you don't have boundaries. So get you some boundaries. Tell people no. Stop volunteering. Tell your friends to hush. Don't answer the phone before 12. Your job, your family, like set some boundaries. And you have to set boundaries because boundary setting is when you start to really put yourself first, okay? And once you start to put yourself first, baby, there's a peace a peace that surpasses all understanding at that point, that you start to feel when you recognize your own value, when you put up boundaries, okay? So next, be kind to yourself. Take yourself out to eat. Take yourself to a movie. This is where the painting your nails comes in at. If that's, something that you don't normally do for yourself, but you want to do for yourself. Be intentional about showing yourself some genuine love. Buy yourself flowers. Create a Valentine's Day love day ritual, right? Create something that shows yourself that you love yourself, that you can be kind to yourself. It's and make it a ritual, because this can be something that you do for yourself, whether you're with someone or not. And another thing that I like to do on Love Day, and this might be a whole lot starting out, right? So this you might can take this in spurts, You can do this even after Love Day is over, but write yourself a love letter. Like, and the interesting thing about writing yourself a love letter on Love Day, when you're really trying to practice self-love, is that your love letter changes over time. And you don't have to wait till Valentine's Day to write yourself a love letter, baby. You can write yourself a love letter once a week, once a month, quarterly. But write yourself a love letter and look at it. Look at all of them and look how your love for yourself starts to change. Look how the peace that you have in your life starts to change. Look at the boundaries you put up start to change. Look, you even start to look different once you start to really love yourself, okay? Another thing you can do today, is you can create an affirmation list. If you have one, create a new one, right? That can be something that you do often as well. It doesn't have to just be on Love Day. And then other things you can do to just kind of create a ritual or something is go to a movie. Take yourself to a movie. Take you and your kid to a movie. Take you and your friend to a movie. Have some Galentine's outings with your girls, right? Buy yourself a certain candy. But whatever this ritual is on Valentine's Day, it can be any of those things. But whatever you choose, be consistent with this. Because then it becomes this thing that you look forward to every single year. And and one thing that's also a fun thing to do is do something like that's nostalgic. Right? Like, so me and my son, ever since he's a little boy, we always go and get ice cream cones. And we sit in the ice cream parlor and we eat ice cream cones. Do something that's nostalgic, something that your younger you always wanted to do, or something that you used to do. And lastly, and this doesn't have to be, like I said, this can be on Love Day or it could be somewhere else. But write your younger self a letter expressing love, understanding, expressing encouragement, acknowledge the challenges you may have faced, and offered words of comfort and support to younger you. Because the reality is, if you're hurt on Love Day, if you're feeling lonely on Love Day, younger you need a little attention. The bottom line is, be intentional about infusing today with activities and practices that resonate with your healing journey. Valentine's Day becomes an opportunity for deeper self-connection and growth in the expression of unconditional love towards yourself. So as we wrap up this special Love Day episode, I want to leave you with a reminder that love in all its forms is a powerful force for healing and growth. Make sure you subscribe to Big Inner Child Energy for more episodes on inner child healing and empowerment. And remember this, okay? You are worthy of love, and your inner child deserves to be embraced. Until next time, I'm sending you all love and light. Happy Love Day. Until next time, take care and keep embracing that big inner child energy.